Alrighty, welcome back. I'm your man, Bad Chad and Queen. Jolene's on the camera, and we got Doug in the room doing some welding. We'll go in there and see him in here in a little bit. He's doing the exact same thing I'm going to be doing, and that's filling this in. We have the fender spotted on there on the car. The fenders are not coming off, and the reason the fenders are not coming off, we have made a flip front end, which was Nathan's idea. Nathan designed the hinge on the front. We cut it off and pulled it off. That's what we're doing. I'm glad that we cut the fender here, and then the fender, and then the hood comes up. I heard a lot of people saying, well, this should have come up with the front end flip. Well, if that was on there, well, then that fender piece there would be in your way of working on the engine. If you pulled that hood up like that, well, that piece would still be there, and then how are you getting in there? I think leaving that there was the best idea, because when you pull that hood up, at least you can get in there and get at it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end up putting some metal in here, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. And the reason being is, if you don't know, I'm going to show you, and if you do know, fantastic. Basically, I've got it spotted on here. I would never leave it that way there and fill it, or I would never leave it that way and fill it, because there's a chance we're spinning tires. We're spinning mud right up on the inside of this bad boy. We're not done here yet. I have some more welding to do around the cowl, and I want to get some more welding done around the fenders, and then we'll take it back out and we will sandblast it. I was going to sandblast it this morning, but I do not want to sandblast it having holes in it like that, because the sand's going to get inside that front cowl piece and it's not going to get out. I don't want to trap it in there. I want to clean it all up, weld these all up, and then we'll take it out and sandblast it. But with the fender, this is the object of the game. With the fender, I have welded it on. That's basically what I used to do, is weld it on, saw it, fiberglass it, fill it out. You think you're good. Well, to be honest with you, with a curve, like with such a 90 like that, and you're trying to get in there and fill that out, you start rounding it up, you put your fiberglass in, you put your filling, you start rounding up, then what you have is you have a chance of it cracking. And it's happened to me before. That's how I know that when it comes to something like this, you probably should take the extra effort. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you should probably take the extra effort and weld that piece in there. So there's a bridge from the fender to the cowl of the car where nothing is going to split or break because of just pressure. We got 500 horse in this bad boy. I'm hoping that when we put the front end on, we'll be able to fill it all out, and nothing is going anywhere, is what I'm thinking. We have the engine going in front of the cowl. There's been quite a few people not understanding what's going on. I want to just give you a little insight on that. When the engine goes in, this is our motor mount here. This is our motor mount here. The engine is going back inside the car, obviously, because we want that look and we want that feel of a mid-engine car. Some of the exhaust ports are going to be back here. There's a couple that are going to be out front. This is basically your engine mounts almost in the center of your engine. So you got a couple ports or a couple pistons that are here, and then you're going to have a couple pistons here, which is going to make an exhaust come back here. Same on that side. So I think I've explained it before. When the engine goes in, the exhaust is going to come out here, but when the engine gets back here, it's not going to have any place to go. What's going to happen is we're going to end up probably cutting. I don't want to draw it on there, but I'm going in, then I'll take it off just for you guys. Thanks for coming back. I really appreciate it. I really do. The more and more I talk to people, sometimes I've met some people on the weekend and the last couple days say they watch, and it's kind of remarkable, the people that do watch. Fred Schofield, seen him yesterday or the other day, and it was just funny that he watches, and I hope he keeps watching. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. So what I'm going to do is there's going to be a hole cut in here, probably, no doubt in my mind, of some sort. It might be smaller, it might be bigger, it might be whatever, but the exhaust is going to we're going to have to cut a hole through that, and then we'll let the exhaust go through that and out to the other side. Obviously, if we cut a hole through that, then we got to cut a hole through this side, obviously, and that's no problem. We'll take plasma cutter, cut it out, take plasma cutter, cut it out, then we'll clean it up, and then we'll make something that we can shove right through it. We'll weld it all the way along this side, and then we'll weld it all the way on the inside. So when we have something, we'll have a nice hole going through there that will accept the headers coming down below in the front fenders. I have the firewall setting there now. It's just setting there. Everything is nice up in here. There's just one fill spot. If I want to fill that, it'd be just one there. This work here is going to have to be done after. It's going to have to be done after, so we see what's going on. We've got our tunnel pieces that are all made. I showed you that before, but what I'm going to show you right now is this piece. I've got one, we'll go on this side first. We've got one piece on this side. You cannot take a straight piece of metal and get it wrapped around there like it doesn't. You can cut it in little pieces, you can, but then you have to do that where it comes together, you have to weld it together. So basically, to get it in one piece, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. I've got this piece right here. It might take a minute or two, but it is what it is. Let's go in here. So then we got a piece that fits in there, nice, that we can put in there, weld in there. We can weld it to cow, weld it to the fender. Then we have that piece that takes away that fiberglass and a little bit of that fill. It just takes away a little bit, so it does not have a chance to crack maybe. And that's all we're trying to do is prevent it, because it's no problem to weld it, fiberglass it, and say you've welded it all up solid. No problem to do that. I'm just doing this because I do not want it to crack. So I'm going to weld that in there like that. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this one. Let's do this one. We've got the other fender. Now I have a shrinker stretcher. I've explained it before, I think. The one with the two teeth that are wide open. So if you get a gap between your two teeth, that would be a shrinker. When you bite down, when this thing bites down, these teeth come together. So it comes down, it comes together. So it actually bites on this, pulls the metal together. It's hard to believe, I know, but it's true. This one here has no gap whatsoever. So when it bites down in the metal, it pulls apart. So it actually would bite on the metal and then it would go pull the metal apart. So it actually stretches it. I'm going to use this stretcher right now. I'm going to stick it in here and I'm going to put some curve into it. And the reason I'm not even going to guess which one I'm going to use. I just need a curve in it. I can flop it upside down if I have to make it work. So it doesn't matter which way the curve's going right here. It matters when I put it on there. So let's just do a little bit. So I'm just going to stick it in there. Just pry down a little bit. Not too hard, because it will take off on you. Because it does work. If I have too much, no harm, no foul. We'll turn it back and do it the other way. It's always good to stick your tongue out while you're doing this, because you're doing a better job. So if you can picture it, if I was making a wheel well or something, I had a 90, this will even make that go into a 90. So you really, this is something that you don't use all the time, but it sure is nice when you have it. It's like Doug said, I want one of those. Well, what has to happen is you have to acquire it, I guess. And you don't know until you see it. Like how would you know what a shrinker stretcher was unless you've seen it? Now we're just going to take that, a nice little curve in that. If it was thicker, for sure, whoa, I bang it on the floor. But where sheet metal would just bend over and be nothing. All right, you can see if I put it on this end, if I come down here, if I stick it on here, it's not bad, but it sure does have to lay down quite a bit more to get that to work. Got some. It's not bad actually. Now that I stuck that on there, we'll do a little more curve to it. Let's check this one out. Just a little bit more in the center, I'm thinking, and that'll work. That's a peacock that we got this morning. His name's Doug. Just take that back. It don't take much. It does not take much. That's the one it's going to be. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I'm just gonna want to bend her some more. Gonna take me a few times. Doug's doing one spot at a time on the hood. He's doing one spot on the time on the hood, doing the exact same thing that I'm doing right now. He's got the pieces all spotted on and is rocking and rolling. We're going to show you here in a second. He must be happy, he's whistling. Let's try it. Quite a, from being straight. And it's no big magic, but it sure is nice when you have it and you apply it and it works. All right. I'm going to try it. And the reason I'm going to try it is because I feel like once I get it tacked on there, nope, I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to get a little bit of gap going on there. Just going to hit it again. Thought it was going to, but nope. Just take a minute. If you're not satisfied with something, fix it. Because if you don't, you'll be more unsatisfied after. I guess that's where you get that hindsight. Hindsight is when you wish you would have done something that you knew that you should have done, maybe. And we want that. Now we're getting better now. Now I can almost push it on there so where it's supposed to be. I likey like that. I'm going to go with that, I think. I'm going to trim that off. That's not straight. I'm just trying to trim it off, make it look a little better. Some of this stuff is going to have to be dealt with when the body comes off, and we're getting close. We are getting close. Gonna grab a hammer. Morning, Douglas.
Good morning. How are you today?
Oh, I just want you to say it to the camera, that's all. It is. We'll go in where Doug's at here in no time. We'll just get this stuck on first, and then we'll go in and see what he's doing. We'll show you what's going on with the Hudson because it's getting close. It's getting close. That's nice when you always get onto a project and it starts getting close. There's always so many things that you need that you have to find. Sometimes that's the game right there, is to find the stuff that you need. But I'm happy that it's going forward. Shrinker stretcher, I think you can get at Princess Auto or Harbor Freight or wherever you're from. I think this is what I'm going to do. I don't like the amount of spot welds I got there. I want to put a few more on underneath. I don't know why, because the other one side has more, so I'm going to spot weld it, and then I'll put that on. Put one between each one. My door stay shut. Got the firewall, got everything. Let's put this sucker on. Don't know if I'm going to be able to do it with my gloves on. My mittens. Take my mittens off. There we go. Let's get stuck in there, right? Let's just put one tack on it. Put it so I can get it where I can cut it off. All right. Don't mind that. Right here. Now, I want that tight on both sides, so I'll hammer that in a little bit. When you're doing this, I'll pull that over. When you're doing this spot welding thing, never put your welder on top like that. Not say never. Don't put your welder on top of your spot on your metal like this, and expect to weld when you cannot see the wire. If you know what I'm trying to tell you. If you're welding something like this, and to do it like that and have all this end piece here blind you from seeing that wire, that's not what you want to do. You want to take that. You want to turn that to a side. If you want to come take a look, you want to go to the side so I can see exactly what the wire is doing. See exactly what the wire is doing. I would never want to turn it this way so I can't see the spot weld I'm doing. Turn it so I can see what's going on, or flop my head over so I can see how it's being welded. Never let that blind you. Always be able to see the wire when you're welding, always. I'm going to tack this on a few more places where it's tight. Just want to make sure. All right, let's get our hammer. Let's get that tight. Get this side tight first. What we'll do is I'll go an inch. That way there when I tack it an inch, that way there when I go to bang on that, it'll stay down. So you watch. Come take a look. See how it's up like that? Where I've got that tack weld right there, that should hold that nicely. Tight and right. Tight and right. All right. Let's do the top. It's tight in a few places, so I'm going to hit it. The distance I keep my spot welds is just for looks, so it looks good when it comes time. This is tight down here, rubber's tight, I'm going to connect it. Just trying to make all this seam right here as tight as possible. We'll get that a little bit welded on. Always want to be able to see the wire on your welder, always. Reason being is you can't see what you're welding if you don't. That's all. I want to tighten the outside one, I think, first. This one's tight and right. Nail it. Basically, this little strip here is for taking the place of filler, fiberglass, and strengthening up the fender that's welded to the cow. That's what it's for. It's nothing else other than that. I guess that should be enough, shouldn't it? That should be enough. Not welding the inside one yet because I'm gonna get it tight. 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 I always want to make it tight as possible, and the reason being is, the tight as possible, the less filler you're going to have to use to cover it. And it welds easier. Weld that right there. The rest will be done when the running board comes off. Let's close this up. Now, I could have spent a lot more time playing with that and make that fit perfect. I kind of bent it in shape a little bit and I'm hammering it a little bit. The only reason I'm doing that is because I want to get it on there faster. Not interested in going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I want to weld it on there and get it done. So basically that's what has to happen there. This is gonna be how I'm gonna weld them up. I'm gonna show you that. And what I mean by weld them up. Just like I got Doug welding the hood inside here. We'll go over this side so we hear. Oh, I haven't got this one on yet. Let's put this one on. Oh, sorry, making her jump hoops. We'll pull this over a little bit. We're all good. Let's put this one on. This one's all pre-made. I'm hoping it is. Yeah, it is. Let's should take a look on the other side. I'm just gonna nail one on so I can get it off. One to hold it. Not quite tight. Let's go check it out. I just want to see what's going on here on the other side just to make sure that I'm doing, you know, let's face it, I want to get somewhere as close. And the reason being is, good. And the reason being is, when I go to fill it out, I want it to sort of look the same. I'm thinking. No, I do. I do. I'll take a hammer and push that in there. Probably easier on my fingers. It's in place, and I'll tell you why, because there's two on it. I'm hoping that I can get it. Might have did the wrong thing. Yeah. That one's got to come off. That's what happens sometimes when you get going. And you'll probably have to do the exact same thing I'm going to do. Cut it off. I know it fits a little bit better than it fits there. What's going on there right now. So I'm going to fix it. It can be a big problem when you tack something and you can't get it off. It can be. Let's do this. Have it pushed over a little bit more, see? All right, I'm gonna go on the limb. Right there is where I want, I think. Am I gonna get burnt? Nope. Ouch, maybe. Not a real good spot. I spotted it right there. If I went and took the welder and went to weld that again, where I don't think it's hooked up that well, it probably would have flung off. That's why I put a spot down here, because if I would have welded right on top of that one, it probably would have unhinged itself and come off. That looks good. I think I did the right thing. I think I did the right thing. Alrighty. Push this on. Just want it on there tight. Everything's nice and tight right there. I'm going to nail it. Always be able to, something popped off. No. Always be able to see your wire when you're welding. Always. It's nice and tight. Okay, now it's a little tighter here. It's nice and right down here. Only plugging it on where I feel like it's right. Let's get it. Let's tack this one in. Right here, where it's tight. And then we'll go an inch from that. Doesn't have to be hit hard, it just has to fit. It just has to fit. Let's get one connected on, and we'll make it go tight. Beautiful. Doesn't look too bad in there. Let's make this. Let's do this one. Seems pretty tight, but if we can get it tight as it can. Less chance of burning through when you're welding it. And it shows you're doing the best job you can. A small magnet on this side. Beautiful. Spot here. Awesome. So that's welded on there. That one's welded on there. So what's going to happen is, this is how I'm going to weld it up. So I try not to mess up any of the cal area. Basically what's going on, when we weld these on, this weld along the top here has the chance to warp this cal piece. basically. So this fender part, it might not do so much damage, and the reason being is it's round and the heat can come up and go around and take off. But where the heat's on here, this is the piece that you're trying not to distort and ruin as I'm welding that on there. So this is my plan. Every 6 inches, I'm going to put a spot of weld on this side of that. Let's do it. Every 6 inches. Or about. Let's get real. Somewhere's close. Just a nice spot of weld. Now I'm going to get out of there. I'm going to let that cool down. Never hurt that whatsoever. I'm going to come on this side. This side still could be warm, which it is a little bit, but we're on the outside of the fender. We're going to go with it. Always be able to see your wire. Can't see your wire, you don't know what you're doing. Hope that makes sense. Got the outside done every 6 inches. Shouldn't hurt it any at all. I should be able to come back over here and do the cowl part. It's not even, no heat whatsoever. I'll come back over here. Don't even shut me off. Turn it back on. Now we'll just leave that like that. Now we're on to this side. We did the outside of the fender. Now we're going to do the cowl part. There's no heat on the cowl. Let's do it. Just give us every 6 inches and trying not to cause a bunch of heat. If you start welding this up continuously and throwing beads on it with no air, you're going to distort that and you're not going to be happy. So that's how I'm going to weld it up. I'm going to go from outside, going the inside on the cowl, inside on the cowl, back and forth every 6 inches until we're filled in. Not using any air. If I had air, well, then I could probably do some maybe 1, 2, 3, 4s. Let's go in where Douglas is. We're coming in, Doug. Heat's down, buddy. No, it's not hot. It looks like you're doing a good job. Come take a look. I like that. That's really nice how that's done. That was laid over top. It's going good. It's going good. Love it. I like that.
Hiltz heat distribution system. You know?
Is that what it is?
Look at this right here.
Oh God! Did you?
Look at that.
Oh God!
Chewed into your fan.
Looks good, Doug. Oh, good. Looks real good. And it's one spot at a time. So basically, when something like this starts happening, that's when you lay that wire on top of this one, and then it just fills the hole next to it. But it's going good. So basically, we did the exact same thing. We had to do the exact same thing here to get them to fit. We did not go down here yet because we have this to fix. We have a piece to put in here. We have that to fix. We have a piece to put in here. This is all the hinge stuff in behind. We want it welded up nice and solid, tight and right. But the exact same thing is going on with this piece is going on with that piece. Just so, you know, when we fill it, fiberglass and fill it, it's not going to crack, or we don't have to have a whole bunch in that seam. And I feel like it's necessary on this with the flip front end. And
Flex, you got that right.
Right.
Put on a big truck.
Doug's doing a fantastic job. Thank you, Doug.
Shorts today, though, did I?
What? I told him to wear Speedos, but he said no.
Welding Speedos. Whoa. I don't really want to see that. I don't even want to see that.
That's good, Doug. Keep going, man. Keep going. All right. All right. We'll go to the Hudson and we'll check that out.
I come up and check out your job, so you're doing good.
Oh, thanks, man. Well, you're going to be probably welding it up, so. Or Jolene will be. Maybe Jolene will weld this up. I'm not sure. She's been asking for a welding project. We'll see what happens. On the Hudson, we have Nathan's doing an awesome job. He's very thorough about what he's doing, but He got the time chain put on, time cover put on. We got our pulleys in place. He had to pull the harmonic balancer off to get the time and cover chain on. And it was quite something to put that seal in the bottom on the oil pan there, because the oil pan is probably supposed to be off when you put that seal in, but he did a good job on that. We got an alternator going on this bad boy. We ordered this piece and these little brackets. And to be honest with you, it took some time to figure out where does that bracket hold that alternator with that. It did, like it really does. I mean, now that we have it on there, oh yeah, that's where it goes. But to take and try to find where it goes on the engine to hold it, that's where it goes. Gas line is hooked up, so we got a gas line running now from the gas tank in the back. What else am I thinking that's going on? Basically, the only thing we have to do to this bad boy is the brakes, and it seems to me like some wiring. There's a dimmer switch, key switch, light switch, 12-volt lights and dash, 12-volt headlights, some brass. We're going to put some brass fittings in the engine. We're going to finish that off with brass. And we're going to have we need some what's that? Some flanges for the exhaust. The exhaust I'm hoping is going to be quite something. I'm going to give you a little surprise of what I'm going to do, or I think I'm going to do. And I can tell you exactly where I got it from. You could even go back to the video and you could see how I was surprised and how I was taken aback. Where is that? The what? Oh, is it on the other running board? Nope, it's not there. Bear with me for a minute. Bear with me for a minute. Huh. Where'd that take off to? Anyways, we're gonna make a different kind of exhaust on this. I had some No, it's not in the car. I don't know where. Now, what happened to it? Anyways, I can't explain it. What kind of metal it is? Can you explain it? There it is. That right there. I don't know what you call that, but it's very flexible. We seen it down Dave Shutton's place. We went into when seen all the custom cars by Ed Roth and Gene Winfield and George Barris and so on and so forth. Probably one of the biggest custom car collections, I'm not sure. But when we first went in there was I think a 32 that had this on it for exhaust. So what I want to do on this bad boy, we're just going to run the exhaust from here down under. I want to bring this out from underneath the fender. I want to run a piece of this. I'm not sure if this is the size I want to run, but I want to run this along the edge of this running board and down with a turnout of some sort for the exhaust to come out. But basically, I want to run my exhaust through this like they did on theirs, because I think it could have been used in that era. This is 36. Obviously 32 and 36 is not that far apart, but I would like to run the exhaust underneath the fender and down underneath the running board, and then have a turnout using that stuff and being visible. That's what I want to do with that. We've got a little bit more to go on it, but it's getting very close. The brakes, I think we got them figured out, and the reason being is we're going to come up here instead of down underneath there. A lot of work to go down underneath there and try to hold up and try to figure out what's going on. We're basically just going to mount a pedal up here, put a booster up here, or not booster, or brake master cylinder, and then we'll run our brakes from there. All right, everybody, thanks a lot for coming back. I really appreciate it. This stuff I feel is necessary as I've grown in this car thing. I've grown. Before I wouldn't have done that, wouldn't have not known to do that, but I'm doing it now. Engine fits. Cowl looks good. No, the cowl looks awesome. Like, to be honest with you, for them pieces to roll up in there like that, they all fit good. You come back, we'll have some welding done, and we'll probably end up having to go do some sandblasting. See, this area here too, I don't like that being open. See, sand can get in there, and I do not want to get a bunch of sand in there that I can't get out. Don't know if I have a place I could probably drill a hole probably. But we'll see what happens. Thanks everybody for coming back. I really appreciate it. This stuff has to be done. Has to be done. Thank you. Come back tomorrow and we will be here. Ooh, got hiccups.